Give me the argument, the best argument you know, for the power of cinema.
What's up, bro?
What's up, bro?
And welcome, everybody, to the show. This is Peliculas with the Bros. My name is Adrian.
My name is Ivan.
And Peliculas with the Bros is a show where me and my brother, Ivan, discuss movies every week. We do a new movie. We discuss a new movie. Ivan, what's the movie of the week?
Top Gun. Maverick.
What was that? I don't know. 5 G's!
I was gonna.
What's the most G's you've ever felt, you think?
I don't know. Whatever a roller coaster. Like, look up a roller coaster's G's.
You look it up. I'm hosting here.
I was rhetoricalizing. Not.
Rhetoricalizing?
Yes.
Is that real?
No.
Oh.
But language isn't real.
Anyways, before we get into the movie Top Gun Maverick, I would like to thank you, listener. Thank you, watcher, whoever's watching, whoever's listening, for taking a look at Peliculas with the Bros. This is a podcast where we do it every week. So if you like to listen to two brothers talk about movies, you're in the right place. So hit that subscribe button if you're on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button if you're on a podcast platform. We're on all podcast platforms, so you can find us wherever you find podcasts. Just look up Peliculas with the Bros. We should be there. Same thing with YouTube. Look up Peliculas with the Bros. We will be there. We would very much appreciate a follow, a subscribe. Even leave a comment. We'll talk back. We've discussed every single comment that's ever been put on our videos. Yeah, we've done that. So if you leave a comment, we talk to you. But Ivan, it's time. Let's put on our aviators on. Let's get our patched, infested leather jackets. You know how leather sounds like putting dead skin on
I
you.
thought it was like suede.
It might be suede, but suede is leather.
But suede is softer. Or
True.
like not.
So no noise.
Yeah. So it's
Okay.
like.
As we go back to Miramar, California, and discuss the movie of the week.
Top Gun. Maverick.
Ding 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 ding. Boom! We suck, man. Why do we suck so bad?
It's good.
Okay. I'm sweating because I just worked out, so any amount of movement, I sweat.
Like Top Gun.
This is perfect for the podcast. Leave it in. Top Gun Maverick, Ivan. Directed by Joseph Kosinski. Written by Aaron Kruger, Eric Warren Singer, and Christopher McQuarrie. Christopher McQuarrie directed the last 2 Mission Impossibles. He's like best friends with Tom Cruise now.
Good.
But anyways, Top Gun Maverick, directed by Joseph Kosinski. Premise? Glad you asked. Maverick is back. Oh yes. 30 years after we last saw him, Maverick is sent to Miramar, California to train a new cohort of pilots. But this time, the stakes have been risen as he needs to train them to complete a mission that is considered near impossible. Miracle 1 and Miracle 2. To make matters even more complicated, Rooster, the son of the late best friend Goose, is one of the pilots he needs to train. Will Maverick be able to guide these new aces to successful mission, or will the past and all its baggage come back to haunt him? Quack! With the cast of Tom Cruise as Captain Pete Maverick Mitchell, Miles Teller, the great Miles Teller, as Lieutenant Bradley Rooster Bradshaw, Jennifer Connelly as Penelope Benjamin, Jon Hamm as Vice Admiral Cyclone, Glenn Powell as Jake Hangman Serson, Louis Pullman as Robert Bob Floyd, Ed Harris as Rear Admiral Chester Hammer Kane. What's a Rear Admiral? Ivan,
Come on.
we got loyal Marines watching this.
It was right there.
All right. Val Kilmer as 4-star Admiral Tom Iceman Kosinski. Monica Barbaro as Lieutenant Natasha Phoenix Trace, and Charles Parnell as Rear Admiral Solomon Warlock. Wingardium Leviosa Bates. It's a mouthful, guys. Like I said, directed by Joseph Kosinski. Do you know his movies, Evan?
Tron Legacy.
Dang, he was ready.
Come
Ah,
on.
God damn it.
Give it to me.
What else?
Hold on.
Okay. I'll hold.
I knew it, but I don't know it right now. Zing.
Oblivion.
Grace. Oh.
Another Tom Cruise starred movie. So he has Tron Legacy, Oblivion, Only the Brave, and an upcoming movie called Spiderhead that's coming out on Netflix, starring Chris Hemsworth and Miles Teller.
Nice.
So I didn't watch Oblivion. I obviously
I did.
at what?
I did.
Okay, I'll ask you about it right now.
Okay.
I've watched Tron Legacy, like you have.
Come on.
Is it like favorite movies of all time for you?
It's probably, yeah, top 10 at least.
But it isn't like amazing, is it?
No, I think it's just super visual.
Okay.
Nice looking Daft Punk. Shh, come on.
Come on.
Come on.
Okay. Work it. Okay, and then Oblivion.
Yeah.
I have never watched it. What's your thoughts on
It
Oblivion?
was good. Like a sci-fi movie. Do you want like a mini synopsis?
No.
Good.
But it's good.
Yeah.
So
It's good.
So he has like 4 movies now total that's been released. I've only seen 2 out of 4. I haven't even seen 3 out of 4. Any ideas of like who this guy is other than his name, Joseph Kosinski?
He seems like he has a solid base of filmmaking, but he also isn't afraid to do any genre, I think. Like I would say like a Scorsese's like mafia movie. I got to.
Gotcha.
But if you give him like some sci-fi stuff, he's like, you know what? I think I'll pass this time. But he said that like a million times.
Yeah.
But Kosinski, I think he would be like, you know what? Sure, I'll do it. Like not taking it seriously, but
He's not stuffy.
yeah.
He doesn't think too highly of himself where he's like, nah.
Yeah.
Or-
It's a job that I have fun doing
Gotcha.
no matter what.
I
kind
can
of
see that
movie.
take. There's a lot of talk about him being like a visionary director because of his like technological prowess.
Mhm.
Specifically, what I found with this movie is that like he with the help of Sony and the Marines or the Navy, whoever was helping him make this movie, was able to create cameras that fit in the cockpit to get better footage. So I think there's like a lot of like talk about him being able to use technology to help him tell his stories better.
Yes, I think. I was gonna say one of the few directors, but I think it's trending now where directors are kind of putting in more work, but where they would be willing to innovate in order to get a certain shot, even if like CGI can probably do it perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
Because CGI is like such a good crutch for like any sort of camera work. Like, it would be really hard to do this. Let's CGI it. But him and with Tom Cruise too, I don't think they wouldn't settle for that, and they would want to
if they don't have to, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's its own thing. Like when I think about directors, I never think about like the technology side of it. It's one of the things that I feel like I don't care too much about. That's what I feel, but after watching this movie and after thinking about it a little bit more, what he brings to the table is a lot, you know? Being able to do what you're saying, not use not use CGI as a crux. Crutch. And a crux. I mean,
Crux.
Using it as a crutch, I think, enables him to do things that other directors can't do. And it's something that for the casual fan, they won't really recognize. They'll just feel it.
Yeah, subconsciously, I think they'll know.
Right. Like, if you experience a movie the way he, with the things he adds, you're not supposed to tell that he did a lot, but you're supposed to feel it through how the movie makes you feel.
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty much one of the most important things as a filmmaker, right?
Yeah. I think with this movie, like, it solidified the thought that, like, try your absolute hardest to do it in real life before you think about going to CGI.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's always, like, better. Like, even if the Joe Schmo who has no idea what lens means, right?
Right.
Like, they'll know it's real.
Yes.
Like, somehow they'll know.
Because they feel scared.
Yes.
Or they feel the emotion coming through the screen. Here on Peliculas with the Bros, we like to figure out how the sausage was made.
I watched some interviews after I watched the movie.
Okay.
But just
maybe you can add or...
Correct.
So this movie obviously is a sequel of sorts from the 1980 whatever movie Top Gun. Jerry Bruckheimer, Tony Scott, the producer director of the first film, started putting this movie into production in 2010. Tony Scott passed away, and then in 2017, Tom Cruise sort of hit the ignition button, which skyrocketed this movie to let's start making it, right? Joseph Kosinski was announced as the director, and the movie was off to go. So, like we talked about previously, Tom Cruise is the type of guy that would do anything to make the movie as real as can be. And this movie is proof of that. The actors that they signed up all had to do extensive training to be part of this movie. So they all sort of did real life footage of flights, right? Jet flying, stuff like that, which is interesting. And Tom Cruise designed the training exclusively for this film, for these actors, which is another crazy thing. And it makes me think this take that I have of, like, if Tom Cruise didn't have this, like, Scientology thing over his head, he would literally be, like...
the greatest man alive.
Yeah. He'd be, like, the best dad ever to, like, his acting children. He'd be heralded from Montana to Yosemite.
You know what? Tom Cruise is my hero.
Go.
I don't care what he's done.
Jesus Christ.
Look, I think it's like everyone has their demons, right?
Oh, you're telling me as I sip my tequila.
Sipping those demons away.
Ow.
Ow. I don't really know what Tom Cruise did. I'm sure it's something horrible, which is why he's in Scientology and in Scientology itself. But, like, there's no denying he's done crazy things to the film world. Like, probably top 10 influential.
Yes.
I'd say.
Yeah.
And he works. He works.
He works.
Like, I'm making up stuff now. And he has a great haircut.
His smile. That's wild,
10
man.
out of 10 smile. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, his stuff aside, he's like top 5 people in this world who actually put in the work, like the work into their craft, into their art, you know?
Yes.
Like any
That's-
genre, any medium,
Yeah.
which so little people can say that they do.
Yeah.
He's
That's
the Kanye of the actor world.
That's the thing. Like, so little is said about putting in the work
Yeah.
in society nowadays. But this guy, if he needs to play a role, he's going to read a book or two about the role he's playing.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to probably perform in front of the mirror for himself every night before he goes into rehearsals the next day. That's the kind of vibe I'm getting from Cruisy Boy. And you have a point. Given that he does all of this technically, and the fact that he makes great work, we should just be like, okay, you're the best, right? But there's this thing that hangs over his head about Scientology and what he could be doing. But until it's like proven until
innocent
until proven guilty, right?
Yeah.
And until then, I love
He's
Tom
the hero.
Cruise.
Yeah. I think we gotta just like be a little more forgiving, a lot more forgiving. It's because I was gonna say something horrible, but not really horrible.
Yeah, I know where you're going.
We got to be really forgiving to like the really bad people. Not that he's a horrible person, because I don't know what he did.
Right.
But if we don't forgive the really bad people, they're just gonna keep doing bad things, because they're gonna say like, oh, might as well keep going if no one's gonna forgive me for this.
Yeah. And
So
also to that point, we also have to be forgiving to the people who deserve forgiveness, because maybe Tom Cruise, let's say he just like ran over a cat,
and
for
that's
example.
that's his sin.
Yeah, and that's his sin and that's what he doesn't want to get out from Scientology, right?
Yeah.
We should forgive him. Him and every other person who's done something bad, but not technically that bad, you know? Because that's why they're hiding, because they're afraid of what society thinks of them, whatever they did.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we're all humans, and as long as you didn't kill, murder, rape anyone, then let's go, boy. Right?
Yeah.
And then back to the question, sort of my hot take is like, Tom Cruise is the greatest actor dad of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he gets these children / co-actors, and he's like, I'll do this for you, I'll do that for you, this is what you should be like. This there's the leaked audio clip of him like yelling at the person with no mask, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where he's like, we have to follow the rules. He's just a great dude from all accounts, other than
Passion.
the other stuff.
Yeah.
So come on, give him a break. Give him a piece of that Kit Kat bar. Anything you heard about the development of this movie that you found interesting?
I think that was what I heard. What
Okay.
you said.
Leading up to this movie, Top Gun Maverick, what were your feelings? What were your expectations?
I was excited. I heard a lot of good things already, so I assumed it would be at least fun.
Yeah.
And then when like the credits start, I was like, yes.
Yeah.
And then like the classic Top Gun with the classic theme song.
Yeah.
And then it cuts. It's just the planes, and you hear that classics, the snapping of the wires or whatever.
The rubber band.
And then and it's just like a montage of that. It was so satisfying.
It's crazy that it was a complete reshoot of the first scenes of Top Gun.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, dang. They're really just like saying, yeah, giving you that home cooking, that rice, beans, and potatoes.
Yeah.
Right in the beginning.
It's kind of weird. Like, there's that criticism of remakes where it's like rehashing, but this does that too. So I think there should be like an analysis between like this Top Gun 1, Top Gun 2, and then I don't know what's a remake that's like
Spider-Man, like the middle Spider-Man with Amazing Spider-Man.
Okay, yeah.
Like here again, retelling the story again.
I think it's because Top Gun is such a simple story. Like where if you do a sequel, it's like what's next?
That and also that it's been 30 years since, or almost 40 years now since the last Top Gun.
Mm-hmm.
That redoing it isn't that bad. Where Spider-Man or any other superhero movie that you redo, it's been like 5 years since the last Spider-Man. You can't redo it. You can't retell the same exact thing.
Yeah.
30 years, 35 years is enough to introduce the same concepts in a shinier way.
But what if they redid like an Alien? Like forget Alien versus Predator, Alien 2, Aliens. It's just Alien remake. Would you want them to just like shine the shoes a bit? Easter eggs, like callbacks. Would you be happy with that, you think?
No. Because
why not?
Because Alien and the original Top Gun are two completely different movies.
Obviously.
Top Gun is more like popcorn. Alien is popcorn, but it's also intellectual. And if you just redo something that's like actually innovative and kind of critically superior than other types of films like that, then I expect a new, something completely different.
Okay.
Also, it's like this movie isn't a remake; it's a sequel.
I'd say it's like a sequel meet remake, because it's so like the beats of the story are like so like neat.
Yeah, that's true.
Like they have a beach scene. They go to the same house with the girl's house.
No, this is a different house.
It's the same house.
Nope.
It looks the same.
Too bad.
But you know what I mean?
Yes.
It's
the
super.
same beats. I can see that. So your expectations, and then after watching it, what'd you think?
I'm gonna join the Marines.
Yeehaw! Fighter Tail USA, baby.
Hoorah!
Hoo! Whoa! Jesus, he didn't know what else to do.
I was like cycling through all the military things I knew, like the last one.
Yeah, felt the same way.
Yeah.
It was exactly what it needed to be.
And more. It's the final, like the first dogfighting scene. I was like, oh, I'm pretty happy with this.
When Maverick was showing them how to fly?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was happy with that, like already, like
Yeah.
just do this again later in the movie. I'll be good.
Yep.
And then they did it even way better at the end of the movie. And it felt so real. Like I was there.
Yes. Nerve-wracking. And that goes back to like what we were saying. The movie's nerve-wracking because obviously it has like these planes that are flying at Mach whatever, and you experience G-force with the pilots, but you feel it because you feel like the actors are really going through it. You feel like everything's real, and credits to Kosinski for adding that to the film, and of course Tom Cruise because he probably has a large say into this film. Yeah, baby. I don't think you shake like that. It's also, can we just say it's a dumb movie?
No.
Like,
Yes.
it
has a lot of cheesy moments where it's like, I've heard this. Like the bar scene at the start. Like it was so classic, like Marine banter.
Yeah.
I look like that you're gonna miss your shot again. Miss shot or something, you know?
Yeah.
And they're like, well, your mama's ugly. And they're like, ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. And then they're all the best pilots are walking through. that's Iceman. That's Gunner.
Yeah.
Dang, it's going to be a big job if they're here.
Yeah.
You know, it's like,
Yeah.
you know, it's like you're saying, all the beats are there. Stereotypical or cliche.
Yeah.
All the cliches are there. But you don't give a damn.
Because it's just fun.
It's fun.
But it's so weird. Like, I don't know. Like, I should technically hate this.
Yes.
And I'm having trouble understanding why I don't.
Yes.
And I think it's just like committing to it and understanding why you're doing it, and that you're almost not really making fun of yourself, like taking it seriously, but also knowing it's a joke, kind of.
Uh-huh.
But it's not even a joke. It's just like fun.
Yes.
It's like if like you watch people at like EDC. This is like tangent, but not really. At EDC, and they're just wearing really silly outfits, and you're just like on your phone, like these guys are idiots.
Right.
But I'm sure if you're there with the outfit, with everyone there, with Calvin Harris playing Summer for the 30th time, you're gonna be like, this is the best day of my life.
Correct.
You know?
Correct.
Because you're not thinking about like, is this corny?
Yeah.
Is this stupid?
That is a very interesting point, and we'll dissect that point even further after this break. The way that this movie straddles the line between corny and like all out fun. I don't even say it straddles the line. Like, it's clearly on the all out fun,
Yeah.
right? But what it does so well is, for this type of movie, it would be so easy for it to be corny,
Mm-hmm.
and for it to be not good, right? And for them to be able to just make a great movie says a lot about the director and the actors and the writers, you know? A lot of thought went into this film. I'm not exactly sure how they did it. But essentially, like, as a viewer, you have to buy in to this idea of, like, I'm in this ride that is ridiculous, but I don't give a damn. I'm having fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Hold on, formulating.
And it also made me think, like, I was going to say this later, but it's sort of what Star Wars can't do. Like, this is the issue that Star Wars has had or had with the last movie, Rise of the Skywalker.
It's scared of itself.
Yeah, it's like
Embarrassed of itself.
but it's not, because like it tries to do it, like Rise of Skywalker, for example.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of the same kind of film where they try to have all this fun, and it's like balls to the wall, like ludicrous things going on.
I think it's like corporate fun though. Like, oh, on paper, or like we took a survey and they would love to see Rey do a triple backflip. But they don't. That's way different from like, oh, I want to see Rey do a triple backflip, you know?
Yes.
And that's technically the same, but it's so different. It's like real life experience versus like technical or just reading a book.
Like
Way-
book smart versus
Street smart or
Yeah.
something. Go ahead.
just like, and then like in Star Wars Rise of Skywalker, the Emperor's back, right? That seems ludicrous. Kylo is all of a sudden switching sides last minute, traversing through the galaxy. Han Solo comes back, and all these cliches that were in the movie, and the movie ended up being divisive as far as like a lot of people liked it, a lot of people didn't. But it seems like for this movie, it hits the same kind of cliches, but it's a resounding "give me more" from the audience.
Yeah. I think it's just knowing that it's a cliche and then just really, really committing to it, versus Star Wars was like because they don't want to do the cliche, but in a way, because they don't want to do it, like not doing the cliche is now the cliche.
Right.
So like him finally realizing his ways is like a cliche on its own. Like everything's been done so much now that you might as well just lean into it hard if it like works for the story. But if you have like some great idea that breaks a cliche, you should do it. But don't aim for breaking the cliche every single scene.
Right.
Every line or whatever.
Yep.
Because like break the cliche, women protagonist. Break the cliche, the stormtrooper who is a Jedi. And then break the cliche again, he wasn't actually a Jedi. So it's like, just commit to it.
Yes.
And they didn't want to.
I think it's also like the single voice of a vision coming through, like from a director or from a writer versus multiple directors, multiple writers in Star Wars, right?
Like 1 through 3, like that was, I don't know if it was cliche at the time, but now it's like pure cliche, the movie. But nobody really hates them anymore. Like there's people like, it's kind of corny, not my thing. But that's different from like, I would say 7 through, or I mean more 8 through 9, where it's like you can kind of make the argument that it's bad. Whereas 1 through 3, it's like, I guess it's bad, but it's at least fun.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say 1 through 3 is fun.
You don't think they're fun?
I would say 1 is fun, 2 is bad, 3 is okay.
I think they're all fun.
I think they're fun because they're of your time.
But I don't like 1 that much. But that was fun.
But 1 is my time, and I love it.
I don't know, Adrian. I think you're stupid right now. Fun in that, like, the specifically like the lightsaber battles where it was like overly done, but it's just so cool to watch.
True.
And that's like technically corny because like, all right, you're trying a little too much. You didn't need that triple backflip to slice a guy in half. You could have just sliced him in half. And it's just that sort of leaning into it being corny, but just you're a kid sort of. You're a kid, let me have fun. You're a kid, I'm going to have fun. No, I'm a kid, I'm going to have fun making this. You know?
The director?
Yes.
Okay.
Instead of like, I'm an adult, I need to make a film.
I don't know. I'm kind of confused now, like what 1 through 3 was really like at the time.
Mm-hmm.
All I know is like the latest Star Wars 7 through 9.
Mm-hmm.
They were trying to have lots of fun, but they were doing it in a way that didn't feel
fun.
Ultimately,
I think just corporate fun. Plus, they were too scared to move on from Skywalker.
Yeah. I think that's the best idea. That the idea of fun was the idea of like a bunch of old guys.
Yeah.
That love the old Star Wars is fun.
Yeah.
Back to Top Gun Maverick. My crowd was amazing. I added a little to the vibe. When the movie was starting, you felt the energy.
Electric.
It was electric. When the title came on, people started clapping. I added to the clap. Woo! My wife got mad that I put a little Ric Flair woo on it, but pay me no mind. But yeah, everyone was happy, man. And then when they go like back to San Diego, people were clapping again.
That was the moment I was like, yes. Yes.
Which is like interesting. It's like a home crowd clap.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. This movie is like kind of tricking people in a psychologically weird way to be one of the greatest movies of all time.
Yeah. It just it's like what's missing from like just a lot of arts just having straight up fun. Like what music is fun these days?
Yeah.
Maybe some pop, but even that's like almost a lot of it just corporate pop where it's like just copying the sound everyone else has made.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't feel the fun from the artists. Games, like it's all just Warzone, Call of Duty, Battle Royale. And it's fun for some people, but like Little Big Planet, like that was just fun, you know? Like you didn't think about the kills, you just thought about how funny it was to like hang off the side with, you know, and
That
like
was funny.
dangle around looking stupid.
Yeah.
That's just pure fun.
Yeah.
But games don't really have that. And the movies, I think it's coming back with movies a bit, which is kind of cool.
And you say music doesn't have it.
Not really. I don't see it coming. I don't see it coming back yet. Not that it will never come back, but I see the fun a lot in movies and TV more than anything.
Mm-hmm. So I obviously love the movie. Another thing other than like the real footage caught on camera that made the film feel good was obviously the actors really acting in the jets. And it's interesting because like they had to practice all the eye movement because their face is covered with that mask to let them breathe better.
Mm-hmm.
They had to practice the eye movement to make sure they're looking at the right spot at the right time. And that's another thing that adds a lot to the film without you knowing. You know, it's like that could have been messed up pretty easily, but they went the next level to rehearse that, and it all feels real. Also, like moving the right way when they're turning, all that felt real. So that was pretty cool. There's also the relationships in this movie. So obviously Maverick, our boy Tom Cruise, is prime in the center of this film, but he has a relationship with Penny, his new love interest. Way better than the first love interest in the first film.
I guess.
Yeah, I don't know, but for me it felt a little bit better. I forgot the other chick's name. I just like how this one felt a little bit more realistic, and that film was kind of confused as to their relationship. This one was like, yeah, they've had a thing. They're trying to get it back. Old flames, trying to rekindle it.
This is like off topic, but I just remembered like the callback of when for the first Top Gun, he flirts with the girl at the bar, and then he figures out that was a teacher. He flirts with the love interest in the bar.
Oh, yeah.
And then he figures out that was the teacher, and he's like with the cap.
Yeah.
And then they do it again in this movie.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Because they all threw him out when he didn't pay the tab.
Yep.
And then when he walked through, I was like, they're doing it again. It was just so funny.
Yeah.
To see that callback.
The callback, yeah. And then one thing that's interesting, in the last podcast we did, we were predicting what this movie could be like, right?
Mm-hmm.
And my prediction was that there's going to be Goose Jr. And you're like, no way. Goose Jr. is not going to be in this. That's too cliche.
Yeah.
But they went full in. They put all their chips in that cliche basket.
He's the main character, baby. I just didn't expect a movie to be able to pull off going into the cliches and making a good movie still. Like this is probably like the first time I've ever seen it done this well.
Yeah.
So I thought like it's reviewed very well, so that means they didn't go into the cliches at all.
Oh, okay. Uh-huh.
Which means they wouldn't do the cliche of having the sun exist.
Correct.
So that's where my logic was.
But it was completely wrong.
Yeah.
And we have Rooster, who's Goose Jr.
Yeah.
Rooster is the son of Goose. And he is, like his dad, a pilot. And there's some bad blood between him and Maverick. Maverick was sort of his like mentor growing up, but seems like he pulled his Navy application papers, which set him back in his career. Now he holds a grudge because of that, and also low key because of the time his father died. Right? What do you think about this relationship between Miles? What do you think about Miles Teller for first of all in this movie?
It was good. Believable. I didn't see Miles Teller. I just saw Rooster.
That's the best compliment. I love the part when he's like singing just
Great
like
balls
his dad.
of fire.
Great balls of fire. You see the vein, the carotid artery.
Just on like
That mustache, the Hitler mustache that he's rocking just like his dad. It's funny, like he's the son of Goose. Give him the stash.
That's like another cliche. Like, of course, he just has the same mustache as his dad.
Yep.
But it works because they don't care. And it's fun.
Yeah. Miles Teller, haven't seen too many of his movies, but I like him, man. He has like a unique face.
He's a little controversial, you know?
What does he have? Me Too's?
No, he's just like
Trump?
super snooty.
I like it.
He expects the best, but not in like work ethic. Like, why isn't this Voss water?
Really?
Stuff like that.
Where'd you hear that? Just like rumors?
But I'm pretty sure it's true. But like,
Where's my green M&Ms? I asked for green M&Ms.
Yeah, like that.
Oh God.
Which is like, come on, 2022, you're gonna act like this.
Kind of makes sense because like he seems like a movie star, but he doesn't have that many movies going.
Yeah.
And he's kind of in that age range where it's like you could be the next Kylo Ren type of guy. Adam Driver-ish, you know?
Yeah.
But obviously, Adam's our boy. The driver. He has driver on him. I love Hangman in this movie.
He's so classic looking.
Yeah.
Like, so like, with his smirky.
His smirk. Oh.
With his toothpick.
Yeah.
Or did he have a toothpick? It felt like he had a toothpick.
I think that's just his smirk.
Yeah. His eyes like
a little beady.
Yeah.
Yeah. Blonde.
He was great.
Tall. Buff. He has like the perfect amount of cockiness.
Yeah. And his name, Hangman. Like,
yeah.
What a villain.
What a villain.
Villain. So good.
And his quote, his like line is, "I'm so good," right? Isn't it that?
Stuff like that. Yeah.
Like it's the most basic line, but he's like, "I'm so good." I'm like, oh yes.
Let's rewatch this. Come
on. What do you think about our boy Jon Hamm's performance in this movie as Cyclone?
Classic military villain. Like, no, this isn't up to code.
Yep.
You gotta follow the rules.
Yep.
There's a scene when he was yelling. It looked exactly like how he yelled in Mad Men. Like I saw it in his eyes and his like neck.
Yeah.
And how he spoke. I was like, this takes me back. Like it's perfect.
Yeah.
But he was good. Like, did what he did.
Yeah. He was actually perfect for his role. But the only issue I have is like I want to see him do something else.
Have him swoop in the jet, like at the end instead of Hangman. But Hangman needed to do it. But it would have been funny. Like,
you know what I want to see him in? Like, I want to see him as a lead actor in a detective movie set in the 1940s. Just be like the classic 1940s. Hey, lady.
See?
No,
Yeah.
not that. Not like
beat it, tits.
yeah, something like that.
Beat it, tits.
But he doesn't sound so.
Got a case to work.
Just like take a long drag of his cigarette, and he looks at the woman. He's like, "Give me some whiskey." Drinks it, smacks her in the face. I got a case to solve. Walks away.
And like that jazz.
Yeah. I want to see him do something where he's a lead actor in a cool role, basically. Is that too much to ask? Hollywood?
I want him to do like something very sad and like a comedy.
Ooh, sad like you want him to get nominated? Want him to get some recognition?
Yeah, like his Joker, but not Joker, obviously. But something where like he's just at his worst.
What was that video game? I don't know. This is horrible. Ace Attorney?
You want to do that?
I don't know. I just thought of it, and it made me think of him. No, Powerpuff Girls. He's the dad.
What the heck? No.
Okay. Yeah, comedy and drama, heartfelt drama. I like it.
He needs to show his chops.
Tom Cruise, Maverick. So I took my wife to watch it.
She like it?
She loved it.
There we go.
It's funny too, because it's so funny. The week before, I'm like, let's watch Top Gun. We'll watch Netflix on whatever. And I showed her the first 5 minutes. She's like, nope, don't want to watch it. And she's like, too old. Looks weird. She has that reaction for a lot of movies pre-2005. And I'm like, all right. We're watching this movie. She's like, who's this? Who's that? What happened with this? I'm like,
should have watched it.
And she's like, is this the same movie you're watching? And I'm like, no. She's like, I should have watched it with you. I'm like, just don't right now. I'm enjoying the movie. Don't do this to me right now. But she loved the movie. She cried. She almost cried like 25 times.
To what?
Just scenes that she thought was emotional. And she was on the edge of her seat. I'm like, damn right.
That last dogfight scene where they're like all just dogfighting.
Yeah.
The old plane versus the new ones.
Yes.
And the plane like stops when the missile goes and like does that spin. He's like, what the heck?
When Maverick saves him?
No, when he shoots the plane, when they're both in the plane and he shoots the black jet. And then it looks like he has them. But then since it's like version 5 of the jets, it like just stops and then like floats mid-air.
Right. It does a maneuver that is like impossible with his version of the jet.
Yeah. And it was cool to see him be like, how?
Yeah. that must have been cool for like the geeks to know about it.
Like, oh, that's a Tobayashi Maru maneuver right there. The classic. I've seen that a million times.
Oh, that's so good. But yeah, Tom Cruise in this. The reason I mentioned my wife, because she was like, that Tom Cruise right there, how old is he? I'm like, he's probably like 60. She's like, he's hot. I'm like, well,
no.
Like, well, he's a Scientologist, okay?
Scientologist, he's white. You don't like him.
No, but he's 60, dude.
Yeah.
And he's still movie star face.
Yeah.
What kind of baby blood is he drinking?
He's just happy. He's working. I think that's what it is. Like, he's working.
Yes.
But he's also aware of not pushing himself too hard. Like, just always just be right above your limit sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's just going to keep him alive until he just crashes through a brick wall.
If you don't use it, you lose it type of thing.
Yeah.
Also, look at Val Kilmer. Like, who knows? Maybe the cancer was because of just a randomness.
Mm-hmm.
He got throat cancer, and he obviously has bad health. But look at him. Look at his contemporaries. Like, look at I was looking at Goose, how he looks today. He's like bald. He just looks
gross.
Like he looks like a 6-year-old. Like a 6-year-old should look like. Tom Cruise is a freak of nature.
I think people just straight up give up very often. At like once they either like get married or like 35 or whatever, they have their career set perfectly. Like time to coast. But then that's like the death right there.
Yep.
30 years pass, you look like Goose.
Shout out to Goose.
Goose.
And his acting in this was superb. I mean, he doesn't do anything quite too amazing. I loved like his interaction with Hangman. Sorry, not Hangman.
Rooster,
but more importantly, Iceman. when he goes and talks to him. That was great. What did you think about Val Kilmer's cameo, basically?
Needed to happen. I just wish he was in better health.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I know he's sick in the movie, but I know he's sick in real life. So it's like, I feel bad.
Yeah. We mentioned that this movie is a semi-sequel, kind of sequel/remake, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is this the best a movie has ever done with... Let me rephrase that. Is this the best a sequel has done with giving a recap of the previous film? Because there's a lot of montages. There's a lot of flashbacks. There's a lot of clips from the previous film.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of explaining. I wouldn't even say a lot of explaining, but there's a good amount.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't feel heavy.
Yeah. I think it works on its own because even if you don't know Iceman, they say like he was your wingman or whatever. Or like you were enemies at one point, lovers later.
Yeah.
And then
shout out to Quentin.
Yeah, and then Goose, he was my wingman, but I accidentally got him killed.
But they show a flashback too.
Yeah, just so you could see a face.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's overdone at all.
No. But that's what I'm saying. It's like, is this the best a movie has done?
Yeah.
They did it and it felt okay.
Yeah.
And like there's a point to Iceman, like he goes back to where to Miramar. He walks in and he sees like old photos and Iceman is right there. He's like, oh, like an old photo of them, right?
Iceman. He's like,
oh,
I don't know. Maybe they had a weird relationship.
Question for you, Ivan. If Top Gun were an artist, a music artist, who would it be?
Top Gun Maverick?
Yeah, if Top Gun Maverick, if this movie was a music artist, who would it be?
Someone who does it right is a little bit corny, but he knows he is, and he has fun with it.
I got the perfect
Tyler?
place. Any artist, and it's not hip-hop, and I have one.
Go ahead.
Nickelback. Look at this photograph. Every time I made it laugh.
But everyone hates Nickelback. Well, they did like 5 years ago, and now they don't care about them.
Do they?
Yes.
I want to be a rock star. This movie is Nickelback.
Maybe like Gorillaz.
No. Gorillaz is too indie. It's Nickelback because of this.
Elton John.
It's cliched up the caboose.
Okay.
The people making it know it's cliched.
Uh-huh.
They commit.
But does Nickelback know?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's still, even though it's all of those things, it's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
Uh-huh.
Shout out to Nacho.
Uh-huh.
And they made a song called Photograph, and this movie has a lot of photographs.
That's one of your proofs?
Yep. Just take it.
No.
There's no one else.
Elton John.
Elton John, why?
He's gay.
Cut. What does that have anything to do with... That would have... That's Top Gun. This is Top Gun Maverick, Ivan. God. Gita, help me. Ivan, say something, damn it.
I don't know. I don't think Nickelback is that loved enough.
Are you kidding me? Have you ever been to a football game?
Like, has anyone ever really hated Top Gun?
Yeah. Like critics. That's the thing. Critics hate this movie. Like real critics were like, Top Gun Maverick, a travesty.
I don't think so.
Yes. I read one.
They're stupid. I just don't see it.
It's Nickelback. Move on.
Okay.
Move on.
I'm moving on.
Let's give this movie a ranking. Actually, before we do that, let me do this a little better. We're gonna review Top Gun Maverick in less than a minute, and we're gonna add a rating of 1 through 5. 1 through 5 what?
Surface to air missiles.
That is the worst. That is the clunkiest rating system I've ever heard.
It's kind of funny.
Surface to air missiles. Okay, out of 1 to 5 surface to air missiles, give me your 1 sentence plus rating. Go. In less than a minute. Go.
But what's
1 sentence and then end it with your 1 to 5 surface to air missiles.
a
Go.
fun romp for everyone involved? No race, no creed matters. 4.25 out of 5. Surface to air missiles.
You just beat the 1 minute mark. All right, my turn. A visual manifesto for all people, sans critics. You're gonna have fun. You're gonna laugh. You might cry if you're white and over 40. 4.5 surface to air missiles out of 5. Yes. Mine went higher. I put 4.25. Now I said 4.5 because I felt the emotion coming out of me.
Coward.
Can I ask one more question before we end this?
Sure.
Is Top Gun Maverick a bad movie?
No.
Like, legitimately, is it a bad movie? Sorry, getting hyped.
No. I think it's hard to say if anything's bad if you just know what you're doing. Because you could just literally intentionally make a bad movie with like horrible pacing intentionally, horrible acting intentionally, and someone watches that says, that was a bad movie. Like, no, that was the point. Like, what is a bad movie? And I think a bad movie is just not knowing you suck. And then you do something that sucks.
What about, is something bad? Is art bad if it doesn't add to the culture?
I think it's super, super easy to add to the culture, but art is bad when it doesn't. Like, there's a very low threshold to being able to add to the culture. And it could just be like, anyone ever feel indigestion? And it's so stupid, but like someone laughs at that. Like, you added to the culture.
Will this movie be in someone's mind in 2 to 3 years?
Yeah. I mean,
don't worry about that. It's possible.
Even for me, like I said earlier, it solidified the thought that do stuff practically. Like as hard as possible. And just like the plane scenes alone were like super.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was going into this thinking like they would be really taking advantage of the CGI
Yeah,
advancements.
that was another bad take that you had in the last.
Shut up.
Okay.
Let me change in peace.
Okay. Your closer or what?
Shut up.
Oh.
And I'm sure they use a bit of CGI and like fluff it up. But I'm sure like 90% of it was real.
Mm-hmm.
What was I?
You're saying that's adding.
Oh, yeah.
That makes it.
Like I
remember.
I probably would never be a director, but just in my day-to-day life, I would think like, Top Gun Maverick.
Tom could do it. I can damn well do this.
But just more like just taking it seriously.
It's going to be a movie that you remember.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a movie that most likely you want to rewatch.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah, because I was thinking, given all this hoopla aside, is this a bad movie? Because, like, yeah, it makes me think like a lot of people love this movie, but if you're a certain type of person, you probably don't like this film, like a snobby film critic.
I think even that's outdated. Like, there's no point in being snobby anymore. Like,
True.
if you can't stop, like, be snobby when you have to be, but not if it's a fun
Like,
movie.
be snobby if you're watching Captain Marvel.
No, be snobby if you're watching, like, a Paul Thomas Anderson movie.
Oh.
Like, ooh, I love how.
Oh, like go into something with a different set of glasses on.
Yeah. Like, you shouldn't watch every movie the same way.
Gotcha.
Like, take it for what it is. But like, you could analyze it and say, like, oh, look at all these cliches, but they serve the story and it's fun. Like, how about you have fun, you stupid idiot?
There you go.
I'm talking to you.
Oh. There you go, people. All right. I like it. Ivan, let's move on.
Let's.
It's time for a section we like to call
Things and such. Not even such?
Sonic the new game looks interesting.
I think it'll be bad. Gut feeling.
What do you have? Amber Heard, Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
Trial is closed. Johnny
Yeah.
wins 10 milli. Heardy
She-
wins
yeah.
2 milli.
I think.
Give your hot take.
I think the hot take is sadly, they probably both did something wrong, but Amber probably struck first. But Johnny shouldn't have struck back. But if you're in a toxic relationship, you're gonna hit back because you're not in the right mind state.
Mm-hmm.
But people will say like, "Oh, the man's supposed to know not to hit," or like, "Someone's toxic, you know, you're not supposed to be with them." But it's never that easy.
Nope.
So it's like, shut up.
To that same person, you know donuts aren't good for you, so why you put it in your face?
Yeah, and you could go that like a million ways. You know, walking on the heels of your feet are statistically gonna kill you in 38 years. You know.
It's another surface to air wordy
Yeah.
sentence you got.
But there's a million things you're doing wrong that you don't change at all. And it's over. Johnny's not that bad of a person. He probably did bad things, but
We all did.
yes, forgiveness. If you can't forgive, you'll never forgive yourself.
My thing too is like, yes, maybe Amber was like the 70% of the bad in that relationship. And people are like saying Johnny shouldn't go through this and happy that Johnny won and shitting on her. But she has a horrible life. She's not happy, you know?
Probably,
Like no matter what she
yeah.
did, the thing isn't to be like, "Oh, you crazy lady."
Go
No,
back
it's,
to your whole,
she's crazy, but let's try to help her because
let's heal.
that's a member of our society that's gonna affect someone else.
Let's heal.
Let's heal, guys. Let's do like the Mad Men final episode, last scene. Let's all meditate.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's enough of that. Ivan, it's time for a section we like to call "What's on the Telly." Other than Celtics versus Golden State, which is happening right now, I'm rooting for the Golden State Warriors. Who are you rooting for? Miss you with that? Okay. I saw Obi-Wan, the first 3 episodes. You want it? You want it hot and heavy? So I watched the first 2 episodes, and the feeling that I had multiple feelings. One is like I recognized a couple things about Star Wars. One is that I recognize something about Star Wars. I like my Star Wars when it's like an epic scale.
Mm-hmm.
That's one. And 1A to that is when it's not, it sort of feels like Star Trek.
You never watched Star Trek.
I did. I watched
Okay.
some of them.
Okay.
Shut your.
Okay.
There's tension right now. Only one way to cut it. And not that Star Trek is bad, but I wouldn't say it just feels like Star Trek. It feels like watching a sci-fi channel show when it's not high stakes or when it's not set in like a big scale.
I think the shows should be like no Jedi. And then like if it's because it's small scale, TV small scale, just do small scale stories.
Andor.
Like there's a literal universe of Star Wars that you could do whatever. Have them do like literally do like a documentary channel sort of style.
Ken Burns.
Yeah. No,
Oh.
like David Attenborough. Like you, and this is the Mogwai. You know?
I'll show you something later. So bad. But yeah.
That would be super cool, and everyone would love that.
Is the Jedi. Yeah, so that's my one thing that I noticed. Second is, this is exactly like The Mandalorian.
Mm-hmm.
Obi-Wan is protecting a small, cute child in Leia and trying to get her back to her parents. Spoiler alert. Why are we doing the exact same thing as Mandalorian?
Maybe they're gonna have a team up movie with the Mandalorian,
Shut up.
Obi-Wan,
And they're going to be searching for all kinds of little people.
Ahsoka, Boba Fett. Is that it?
So you're saying start small, go big?
I'm saying no. I'm just saying I think that's what they're doing.
What?
Uh,
I like how I said what? What?
what? They have all these characters now that like are technically on their own. Then they're gonna have the defenders of the Star Wars, Obi-Wan, Mandalorian, Ahsoka, Jabba the Hutt, no Jango Fett, no Boba Fett, and then have that 4 team up, and it's the defenders of Star Wars.
Jerk. That's so stupid.
I can see them doing that.
I don't want to. But why in this? That doesn't answer why in this. It's exactly the same thing as Mandalorian.
Because the people in charge are stupid.
Thank you.
Because they don't know Star Wars. They just know what they want, but they are stupid because they don't go to therapy.
Next thing. How, like, there's multiple scenes where Leia is running away from captors and Obi-Wan, and she outruns them.
It's a fast
Leia,
kid.
no, don't run. No, I don't like you. How is she fat? Like, I get that this is Star Wars, and I can suspend my logic to believe that there's monsters with 4 eyes and they have a tongue for a nose. But I can't believe that a 10-year-old girl can outrun the best Jedi of all time.
He should be like, boom. She's like,
Exactly. And that's like taking it to extreme. How about you just run and grab her? Because she's has little tiny feet.
right.
It's just so dumb. But my main takeaway is like, it sucks. Obi-Wan freaking sucks, man. Like it's just like so stupid.
They're too scared to do anything else.
But my only rebuttal to my stupid it sucks take is
It's
that
for kids.
it's for kids.
Shut up. Kids aren't stupid. They're smart kids out there.
I know.
They know when they're treated like stupid kids, even if they are stupid kids.
So Ricky down the street, he wants something more than just the same old thing.
I don't remember where I saw this, but like, it was like some TEDx talk, but I didn't finish it, but it doesn't matter. He said most kids see their first horror movie at 11.
Oh.
Like,
I
I
know.
think that itself should show that, like, they're going to watch these and they're going to like it. And so you should just make it not stupid, because kids are not stupid.
I'll withhold names and everything, but I know kids
Human.
subspecies.
Subspecies of kids.
No, I know kids that are younger than 7 who watched every horror movie.
Right.
And I'm like, dear God.
I mean, I'm not saying they should watch horror movies, but
Yeah, no, me neither. That's what I'm trying to say. It's like, dear God, do not watch Chucky when you're 5 years old because you might become Chucky. And yeah, to your point, kids know more than we did, you know?
they're smart.
Yeah.
So just make it for kids, but treat them smart. So don't put like gratuitous gore or whatever.
And then this is my last take about Obi-Wan. I've heard multiple people just be like, and it's kind of the Marvel cinematic universe of it all, just say, like, I just want to know everything there is to know about Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, they're fine with the content they get and all the, like, Easter eggs because, like, that's all they want. They just want to see, like, every character referenced so they can look them up on Star Wars Wiki and be like, oh, this is how it's all connected.
Yeah.
And that, to me, is kind of disgusting, but I also get it. Because I'm the same way about basketball. Go ahead.
I think it's just you got to listen to a specific set of fans, not the loudest stupid fans, who want to see, all those tiny little like, ooh, that shrub is from Star Wars Episode 2 when Leia pooped there, and that's the shrub, you know?
Yeah.
But you got to listen to the fans who say like, just make your original story and make it fun, because Star Wars is like it's like for kids, but it's for like the kids' spirit, not literally for kids, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So they're kind of dumbing it down, and now it literally is for kids, but not like the kid spirit, which is kind of what George Lucas did. Like he was super into making it so like the kid in him would love it.
Right.
And that's what
like I made this with my kid spirit of the things I liked as a kid.
Yeah.
But with my adult brain.
Yeah.
Yeah, idiot.
Yeah. And now they're like,
you.
Me?
You idiot.
Me specifically?
Yeah.
But now it's like this is what the corporate kid likes. They like a lightsaber.
But the reason I also bring up the couple people that have told me I want to know as much as I can about Star Wars, and I'm fine with whatever they give me because it's just more information that I have now. I feel like that's the majority. That's my issue. It's like I'm scared for these people who are like, I like Obi-Wan because I get to see side character C from movie X.
Then you just have to trust yourself and know that the majority of people are idiots. They're stupid like you.
Oh.
And I think that's just like going back to making your art for yourself, for art's sake, for fun, for your soul, for the soul of the
soul
art.
Food.
Yeah. Instead of trying to make it so it's an encyclopedia sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, people will hate it initially, but a year down the line, they'll respect the fact that you didn't. They'll begrudgingly respect the fact that you didn't cater to them, but instead made something amazing like the David Attenborough documentary on the life of Endor, which would be like the best thing they could ever make, but they will never make that. And then just kill 7, 8, 9, redo it. Keep 7, because that was a good like, we're back, baby.
8 was great.
And then just rework 8 and 9.
It's funny because 8 was great, and then as I was watching, 9 was amazing. But as I left, I was like, oh, that was actually not that good. They're not that bad,
but they should have been way better.
Yeah.
I'm not a settler.
Actually, 8 was the best one. But I'm the only. You don't think that. You didn't like 8.
I think it just 9 ruined it so much. It like 2 planets colliding into each other.
I like
So
that.
it's like they killed each other. That's why I leave 7 alone. Because I thought they're like, well, let's keep it familiar. So like the old people will come back, new people will come in, and nobody will be lost. And then they just kind of poop the fan.
Mhm.
7 or 8 and 9.
I said last point, but I have one more point. There's a new character who's the villain in this show, Obi-Wan Kenobi. Her name's Moses Ingram. She plays
Inquisitor.
an Inquisitor. My only thing is I don't like her because, and it sort of goes back to what we were talking about with Top Gun, like, put your all into it. There's a couple scenes where it just, everything felt fake. Specifically, like, she or someone else was mad, and they one of them pushed another one of their another Inquisitor or whatever. I don't know, but it was such like a wussy push. I'm like, really get into that push, you know?
Push him.
Don't give me like a nudge.
Yeah.
And it just threw me off.
Yeah. It's like, don't phone it in. Like, commit to it. Like, side tangent. But while I was watching, I'm still watching Family Guy. Sometimes they have guest characters,
Uh-huh.
and it's like actors that are well known, but they don't have voice acting experience, so they don't understand that, like, you're supposed to really inhabit the character and then pretend like there's someone there.
Yes.
All they do is just like, wow, Lois, that was crazy, instead of saying like, wow, Lois, that was great. Like, say it to somebody. And
You
can
always
just,
feel that when it's on Simpsons
uh-huh,
and they have like celebrities on it.
uh-huh.
It just sounds weird.
Yeah, and it's super weird because it's like Lois and then this famous actress, and like you could, like, Lois feels like she's there talking to that person, but then this famous actress is just like, who are you talking to?
Right.
And it's so weird.
Yeah.
And it just, they don't put in that extra work.
So
of
weird.
Work.
But that too isn't solely on Moses, and it's not solely on celebrity actress you're talking about. It's on the director, you know, and what
Yeah.
they're taking in. Like, they're allowing that to come into the movie.
But if you're a super, I think this should be for anyone, any artist, any worker, like, you should learn everything about what you do.
I think that's too much.
I don't think so.
I mean, I don't think it's too much, but it's unrealistic. Like, there's not everyone gives a damn.
I mean, it's unrealistic that you'll learn everything, but you should, like, I'd say any person raised well should have that in them. Even if they're the stupidest person ever, they should think, like, I need to try my hardest, even
Yeah.
if I have limits. And then, like, people will respect whatever your limit is,
True.
as long as you're working.
True. Anything you're watching?
Family Guy. So good. See myself. Season 5.
How many are there? Like 12?
Around that. Yeah.
I saw Men, the movie by the guy that made Ex Machina, Deus Ex Machina. It was good.
Yeah.
It wasn't like
Preachy.
no.
Can you spoil it? I'm curious what the twist was, but I don't want to watch it.
The ending, I didn't even look up what the ending meant because, like, it sort of didn't matter. I mean, did it make sense? But essentially, she, I don't even know how to say it. I like the movie because it ends like with a 30-minute sequence of just like disgustingness,
Like,
and
body horror?
and
Nice.
also like a metaphor. Like, it's a 30-minute long end sequence with metaphor, body horror, and no explanation. And I'm like, yep, that's what I wanted.
But does she die at the end?
No.
Is she good by then?
I don't know. But it's not about that. It's just it's about It's like one of those movies.
Everything has an ending.
And the beginning.
Let's move on.
Ivan, it's time for a section called Really Be Bussin'.
Yeah.
I have no music for you. Jesus.
Post Malone tonight. Greatest to ever do it. Greatest to that will ever do it.
I'm interested because I saw the parts of the Zane Lowe interview.
I didn't.
And you know Zane, he's like, this is your best work yet.
This is your best work yet, love.
Oi.
Oi, mate. This be your best work yet.
But
In it?
I feel like he does that for everyone.
Yeah.
So, but he said it. So there's that.
I am like so tired of interviewers and critics. They're like really the middleman of everything.
I know. I don't trust Zany, but I trust you, and you think that this guy's like the second Jesus.
I just think he has potential, but I mean, I think if he's still talking about jewelry, he's not there yet.
Well, that was the one thing he said. He's like, this one sounds like you have your voice and you have your voice.
You have your voice, love.
And you've merged both voices together.
Uh-huh.
So maybe maybe that means no bling talk.
Maybe I'll listen, see, but I feel like a lot of it's going to be like just park my 12-car garage.
But that you said that he's the one.
He has the potential, but he doesn't break out of that rapper mentality.
But that's what I said. You said you think he will do that.
I know. I am just more hopeful that he will, but
okay,
I'm not 100% he'll do it.
Gotcha. What if this album is the album? You be happy?
I don't think so, because it's called like 12 Karat Teeth or something.
Yeah.
It's already like, you're already kind of lost.
What if it's like a country 12 karat?
Oh, like literally 12. He has a push-it of 12 Karat.
Gotcha.
I don't
No, he had like grills on.
Yeah.
So.
That's like my barometer now. If it's anything about drugs or jewelry, they have not ascended. And ascended mean like what Kendrick does, what Kanye kind of did until he's gone. He's descended now.
Okay. Ray Shermerd 4 is coming out.
They're gone.
Low-key, they were like top 5 hit makers though.
Yeah.
So there's that.
They don't. Rap's dead, bro. Come on.
Okay. You don't have any new take on that, right?
No.
Okay.
Like, if anything, Kendrick solidified that.
Yes, he did. I'm kind of like, the more time that goes on, the more disappointed I am with the Kendrick album.
Okay.
Because I'm not gravitating towards it.
Like, you wanted to keep spinning it?
Yeah.
Spinning
Like, I
it?
want to have there's no gravity that pulls me to listen to it.
I don't listen to it anymore. But I don't know. Like,
But I guess that's the point, right?
Yeah, like, no album's gonna save you. Like, Kendrick kind of said that in his album.
Future wears gold chains, but he's not your savior.
Yeah.
I so wish that he went the route that we discussed that one time when we heard the Baby Keem album.
Oh.
And he like just was it Mel Brooks?
Slapstick?
No. Satire.
Uh-huh.
Like a funny satire. What? Not a satire, right? It's
Just fun.
a parody.
Okay.
A parody rap album. And just be like, Rover Gang. That would have been fun.
Maybe next one. Or not. Who cares?
No, I want his next album, honestly, to be like a jam album.
Like hits?
No, jam. Like jamming, like. Yeah, exactly like that, baby. You're like so offended. You're like, don't do that to me. I just gave you a hit right there. Calvin Harris sucks, huh?
No, he doesn't.
All right.
Like, okay, you convinced me. He's good. I just want I'm not.
You're stuttering there.
I know. Hey, yeah.
What is this?
Porky Pig.
Hangman about it, JoJo. What was that song?
Oh, Cotton Eye Joe.
Yeah.
Cotton
What
Eye
am
Joe.
I at a
Square
Six
dance.
Flags?
Oh. Okay, let's. We're losing it.
It's over. All right, guys. That's it, right?
Yes.
We'll be back with another episode of Peliculas with the Bros next week. Ivan, do you know what movie we're doing?
No.
I feel like there won't be a good one because I think this one's going to take a 2-week hit, like on the top.
A little mini pandemic for movies.
Yeah. We'll see. Maybe there's a good movie out. Maybe not. In any case, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. We'll be back next week with another episode of Peliculas with the Bros. Remember, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, leave a comment, leave a review. We would very much appreciate it. We'll see you next week. Peace out.
Bye.